Hey there, everyone. This is Joe Simons with Salt Strong, and I'm going to give you some tips today on how to get more strong angler votes, which hopefully will ultimately lead you to win one of the strong angler challenges in one of the categories, or shoot all three categories if you're really, really good at this. Now, tip number one is when you submit your catch, we are finding that the more that you write in here, aka the description, the more vivid the description or any kind of story behind it, like one person was writing about it, they got caught up in the trolling motor and where they were and what kind of lure they were using, those are getting more shares. And it just makes sense, right? People enjoy a story and kind of hearing what happened behind the scenes with the actual catch. Now, not picking on you, Aaron, by any means, but this is just a small one. But I mean, had you put a quick story about where you were or anything that it did, or if it jumped or pooped in the boat or whatever, those are actually getting more strong votes. And you can see Aaron's got a couple votes, and of course that just got submitted here really, really recently. A couple more from Aaron. Nice fish, man. So that's tip number one, is to put a big description in there. And I'm not saying write 5 paragraphs, but the more that you can write and tell just a quick story or a quick experience you had, those are getting spread and shared the most. Now, another quick tip is just the lighting. This has 27 votes. It's obviously not the biggest fish in the world, but it's a cool picture. I mean, it kind of pops when you're scrolling down. I mean, pictures with big fish like this pop. Something like this pops. It's really bright, meaning it's really well lit. It's something when the sun is on it. If anytime you can have pictures like that where you're not in the shadows, those are going to help you get more shares. Some really, really cool ones here. I want to show one that I really like from our friend Keith here. He's got this the bright yellow shirt on. It's this one. It's a beautiful red fish. He's got a Salt Strong hat on, a bright orange shirt. This thing just really pops. It's a cool light, and you can see the background. He's got the mangrove trees, and this is just a really cool picture. You even see that he's probably throwing the casting a little bit that day, or he's just loves pulling weeds in. But either way, awesome pick. And look at this, great description too. Top slot 27. He used it for the IFA tournament. That's great stuff. It tells part of the story. I really, really like it. So here's the tip number two, of course, is just liking it first. So what you should be doing as soon as you submit your picture is, of course, to like it yourself. And a quick note, this is going to look a little bit different on a mobile phone versus your desktop. I'm clearly on a desktop right now, but it's going to be the exact same process. So number one is always like your own. You always got to vote for yourself. Now, what I would do is put a little description in here, and not necessarily the same description you put in there of the story, but this is really where you're asking your friends to help share this and help to give you some like votes. And I would just ask them, say something like, hey friends, or hey angler friends, check out my latest redfish. Can you please give me a like to help win this this online fishing tournament? Something like that. Just the simple fact of asking actually will get some likes from your friends that enjoy seeing your pictures, etc. So you're going to do that. Hit add a comment. I'm going to close because I'm not going to post this on my own wall. No offense, Keith, but I did give you a vote. And then the next thing you're going to do, I think a lot of you are forgetting this one, is to share it. And there's a couple of really cool tips here, so pay attention on this one. So when you click that share button, this is going to pop up. You can see I'm logged in as myself. And on Facebook, it's going to have this little drop down here. And it defaults to on your own timeline. And you will obviously do it on your own timeline first. But I want to show you some of these other ones as well. So first and foremost, we put it on our own timeline. And that's going to put it right there on our Facebook wall. And do something similar, like, check out this lunker. Please give me any votes. Now, one cool tip is if you're fishing with someone, so let's just say I was out there fishing with my brother Luke. I'm going to put the @ sign, and let's just say I was with Captain John Gunner was out there as well. I'm going to tag those guys. So what that's doing now is that's not giving you an extra vote, but it's alerting them, one, and it's potentially putting it on their wall if they accept it. And it's ultimately, hopefully, if they were there with you, and I'm not saying be crazy with this and start tagging every person that you know, but if they really were out there on the boat with you, or if you're out there kayaking with your friends and they were all part of the experience, tag them, and it's really likely that they're going to put it on their wall and share it with their friends, and that's how pictures can get spread really, really, really rapidly. So that is tip number one, and then you would share it. Now, once you do it, you can keep going back and sharing this thing as many times as you want to. And I'm not saying to try to skirt the rules by any means, and that's why I say always only tag and share it with people who are involved or have some reason to like this. But if you had another friend that you forgot about that, oh, you know what, so and so was there as well. Let's just say my buddy Captain Danny, I would share it with him, and now that would actually tag it on their timeline, and so now he would see it as well and hopefully accept it and put it on his timeline and share it with his friends. Now the other thing is in a group. So of course we all know about the Salt Strong fishing. I could share it in there, and so I could be sharing it with the group. And quick note though, with a lot of these groups, you're not going to get the strong votes. Facebook is not counting those likes inside of these groups, because most of them, are private and or hidden or secret groups. But it does get the picture out there more, and if someone does like it enough to share it on their own page or share it with a friend or tag a friend, then that can really start getting the sharing going. So I'm not saying to share this in Salt Strong Fishing every time. We do not want to see every single picture in there, but if it's a really good one, then by all means share it in our group. And the final one, of course, is a page that you manage. So for instance, I have Fish Strong and Salt Strong are two pages that I manage. I could go put it on there as well, and that will count as another vote. So if you do have any of your own pages, or a business page or a personal page that's kind of like like a public figure page or something like that, or entertainment page, you can always go post it there as well, and all those votes will count. So that's the Facebook side of things. Now there's one other piece. If we click on the actual image, it'll pop up to a new window, and you can see here's where his little description is. This is his name, the date, the picture, about the angler. It's this main page here talks about all the information, the rod and the bait and where he was, etc. And notice here you've got some different social share buttons. So we've already done Facebook. You can see it's already been done. Next would be to go tweet this. If you use Twitter at all, I'm personally not the biggest fan of Twitter, but I still have an account. I would go tweet this thing. And you could use whatever. It's obviously going to have this as a default, but you can go add in whatever the heck you want to and then tweet that. I'd also go Google Plus it. So you can go in here in Google Plus, and you can see it automatically pulls the picture in, and that's just one more vote. So that's automatically, you should automatically have 3 votes. 1, you liking yourself, 2, tweeting it, and 3, Google Plus. I mean, every single picture you have should always have at least 3 votes just from yourself, let alone any friends or any other anglers that are on the page that like it. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully there's some good tips for you on how to get this thing and how to get it out there, share it more. So I'll recap them. Number 1 is to put a better description, helpful hints, helpful little tips, any kind of story about the fish that you caught really helps get that thing to be able to be shareable, if you will. And then, of course, the other one is just to make sure to like all of these yourself, and then to ask people to please like it for you. And, of course, always tag anyone who was on the boat or on that fishing experience with you. That helps out big time. Otherwise, can't wait to see more of your catches. This is so much fun just to see everyone posting their fish that they catch. And if we can help out in any way, don't hesitate to let Luke or I know. Fish on!